All right, welcome back, Truth Seeker. It is October 27th, 2020. Today is Philadelphia's birthday. Think about LA and Philadelphia and sports this year, and Kobe Bryant and the Lakers, and now the Dodgers. Today, Philadelphia's birthday. The big news in Philly today: a shooting, racially charged, in Philadelphia on Philadelphia's birthday. Again, this news story. And today is also the anniversary of the funeral of Jackie Robinson, who died October 24th, 1972, and who was buried today, October 27th, 1972, 48 years ago. And Mookie Betts, I put out a video in February 4th, the day he was reportedly traded to the Dodgers. I said, look at this, trading Mookie Betts on 4/2 in the 42-month February Black History Month to the Dodgers, right after it was reported that Kobe had died in a helicopter crash on the 4200 block, as they put in the mainstream, even though he crashed in a field. And, of course, Jackie Robinson, number 42, in Gematria, Jackie equals 42. Just before the Eagles won the Super Bowl on Jackie Robinson's birthday, January 31st, that same year, it was reported that 3 black celebrities died in the news on Jackie Robinson's birthday. Rajuel Butler, Philadelphia basketball player; Major League Baseball player Oscar Gamble, who died 42 days after his own birthday on Jackie Robinson's birthday; and LaTonya Lemon, the sister of Don Lemon, who's on CNN. And what all 3 of those names have in common: Rajuel Butler, Oscar Gamble, LaTonya Lemon, they all equal 42. And again, they all died on Jackie's birthday. This year, on the day that was celebrated as Jackie Robinson Day, Chadwick Boseman died, who played Jackie in the movie number 42. Today, the Dodgers win the World Series 4-2 on the anniversary of the funeral of Jackie. But he played in number 42 as Jackie Robinson, and he played in Black Panther. And, of course, Jackie Robinson was in a tank battalion called the 761st, and they were known as the Black Panthers. Look this up. This is Jackie Robinson World War II history. A tank battalion called the Black Panthers. And about them being the 761st, that's the 135th prime number. And the reason that matters is normally Jackie Robinson Day is on April 15th, but this year they had it on August 28th because during the time of April 15th, the league was suspended due to coronavirus. But from April 15th to the day they had it, August 28th, Jackie Robinson Day this year, it was 135 days later. And if you go back and check the box score, August 28th, the Dodgers lost at the Texas Rangers in Arlington, where they just won the World Series tonight. The World Series was in a bubble in Arlington, Texas, the same day, same location they were the day of Jackie Robinson Day, which isn't far from Fort Hood, where Jackie Robinson was court-martialed for not riding in the back of the bus. That was on July 6th in history, the same day George W. Bush was born, who was the man who ran the Texas Rangers, where the World Series was tonight, in the Texas Ranger Stadium. The name George Bush equals 107. The World Series began on his 107th day of his age, born July 6th, the same day in history that Jackie Robinson was court-martialed. The name Bush equals 50. Tonight, the Dodgers won the 50th championship for the National League. Mookie Betts, number 50, leading the way, who in Game 3 against number 50 Charlie Morton made the score 5-0 on the 73rd pitch when Los Angeles Dodgers equals 73. When Kershaw set the strikeout record in the postseason, it was the 73rd pitch of the game for him. Tonight, when Blake Snell got pitched and things went the Dodgers' way, it was the 73rd pitch for Blake Snell. For years on Patreon, and even before I did Patreon, for years I've talked about the Dodgers in 73. I call it the Dodger number 73. In Gematria, Los Angeles Dodgers equals 73. A lot of magic with that number in the Dodgers. They can become 7-3 against a team for the year, like a division opponent. That is happening. That is happening. And year after year, as we continue to call the World Series right before the season begins, been doing this year after year. World Series equals 57 in Gematria. The World Series ends today on a date with 57 numerology. And don't forget the day that Chadwick Boseman died, which was Jackie Robinson Day, which was the birthday of the author of Black Panther, Jack Kirby, which was also the 57-year anniversary of the Martin Luther King Jr. I Have a Dream speech. We'll get to who's behind all this scripting and rigging by the numbers, in case you're new here. We're going to go through some things. But the one thing I was wrong about is I thought Mookie Betts would be the MVP. I did mention if it wasn't him, it would probably be Corey Seager, but I think this is all going to be part of a narrative tomorrow. Did Mookie Betts get robbed of the World Series MVP? They'll probably make it about race. Don't forget, earlier this year, we documented when Mookie Betts led the Black Lives Matter player protest 42 days from his own birthday after the Kenosha shooting. And look into it. After that Kenosha shooting, the Dodgers called up the second baseman from Kenosha. What are the odds? A mainstream shooting in Kenosha. Dodgers call up their second baseman at the same time from Kenosha. Mookie Betts, who got traded to the Dodgers on 4/2, leads a protest 42 days from his own birthday, ends up winning the World Series 4-2 on the anniversary of Jackie Robinson's funeral, October 27th against 72. There's a weird Donald Trump thing going on with this, too. We'll get into that. If you're new here, that stuff could blow your mind, but we've been proving it year after year what's really going on, how all this stuff's synced up. So I want to talk about what's funny about Justin Turner getting diagnosed with coronavirus during the game. There's something that's really funny about this. Tonight, the Dodgers got their 56th win of the season, and the big star during the postseason was number 56 for the Rays. If you haven't been following, we've explained how number 56 is the number of the year. And coronavirus equals 56, for example. And tonight, the Dodgers got their 56th win of the season to win the World Series. The number of the year, the exact number they hit, winning the World Series. All year they had Black Lives Matter on the fields, on the mounds. Black Lives Matter 56. Again, Mookie Betts leading the player protest 42 days from his birthday. We don't want to talk about what 42 equals. You know, I'm just going to put it on the screen. If you're listening, you're going to miss it. But again, I'm just tired of repeating these things, but I've been teaching about this pattern for years with these two numbers right here, because these are the two ciphers that I've known for 7 years. There's this sick pattern with 60 and 42 in history that the N-word equates to 60 and 42. Today is 60 days after Jackie Robinson Day that they celebrated this year on August 28th, the same day Chadwick Boseman died. Today's 60 days later, and the Dodgers just won 4-2 in Jackie's 42. And if you look into baseball history, you'll find that the first black baseball player in white major league was Moses Walker, whose name equals 42 in the most pure cipher. And he played in exactly 42 games. And those people that I said who died earlier, Oscar Gamble, 42. Rajuel Butler, 42. Again, he's from Philly. He died right before the Eagles won the Super Bowl in Minneapolis, the original home of the Lakers. And again, today's Philadelphia's birthday. Kobe from Philly. LA wins the World Series on Philly's birthday. Kobe, a big loss for LA, and then 2 big championships, which again, we said would happen before the seasons began. And I didn't call the Dodgers thing before Kobe died, but just pretty much days after is when I said, okay, this has got to be it with the Kobe thing and Mookie coming over on 4-2. But anyway, Rajuel Butler, Oscar Gamble, and Oscar Gamble died 42 days after his own birthday on Jackie's birthday, and LaTonya Lemon, the sister of Don Lemon. So they said LaTonya Lemon was walking on a frozen pond and fell through and died on Jackie Robinson's birthday of all days. I'm sure, she's just going out for a walk on the frozen ice. Anyway. By the way, even when you write out birthday, it equals 42. And if you guys haven't read my new book, not to be a self-promoter, but if you haven't read my new book, huge chapter on Kobe's death this year. Talks about all this stuff that I'm talking about right now and so much more. I wrote about this thing with Jackie Robinson in 42 in my first book as well. So I always remind people about this. It's just so blatant. Chadwick Boseman, dead on the day that they called Jackie Robinson Day. They called the movie number 42. Leads the player protest 42 days from his birthday. Wins the World Series 4-2 on of all days in a 365-day year. Wins it on the anniversary of Jackie Robinson's funeral. And there's just so much more to say. Hold on. This Justin Turner thing, though. We talked about getting the 56th win, coronavirus, Black Lives Matter. We'll get to it. It's the Society of Jesus behind all of this, who are the Jesuits, who are Rome. They say all roads lead to Rome. Rome, entertaining with the bread and circus, the distraction over here, the fear and tyranny here, the police and military force here. It's everything we learned about in our history classes. We're living the same thing. We're the Roman Empire in modern day times. Or part of it, I should say, because it is a worldly thing. And anyway, this Justin Turner thing, I want you to see something. I want you to see Justin Turner's name. You see how it's 54 in the most pure cipher? The word baseball with just the alphabetic order is 54, and when you run the alphabetic order in reverse with rules of numerology, baseball is also 54. There's 54 outs in a complete game. Justin Turner has a great name for baseball, 54. If you write out Jesuit order, which is the Society of Jesus, it's 54 in the most pure cipher. And if you add up the runs scored in this World Series, the Dodgers scored 32 runs, winning their first World Series in 32 years. Clayton Kershaw improving to 3-2 in the World Series by going 2-0 in 2020. He came in 1-2 in World Series for his record. Won them both this year. Games 1 and, what was it, Game 4 that he also won it? Can't think right now. But, no, it was Game 5. He won Game 1 and Game 5. Yes, 3-2. Oh, yeah, because he improved the series to 3-2 as well. And improved to 3-2 in the World Series all time. But anyway, 32 runs scored by the Dodgers in this World Series. 22 scored by the Rays. Count it up if you don't believe me. 54 total runs. I promise you it's a fact. They came in tonight with 29 runs scored for the Dodgers. 21 for the Rays. I thought the Rays might get blanked tonight. I thought they might stay on 21 runs, because 21's the sixth triangular number. You might have noticed if you watched the game tonight, in the sixth inning, they put up a stat, record 21 strikeouts through 6 innings in a World Series. 21, the sixth triangular number. Jackie is 21 in the most pure cipher. I thought they'd pay tribute to that 21 tonight in Game 6. They did. And Los Angeles Dodgers, again, is also 73 in the most pure cipher, which is the 21st prime. So these numbers. Oh, and Los Angeles Dodgers is also 181, which is the 42nd prime number. And 4-2. And don't forget the Lakers. Lakers 42. LeBron James 42. You know, don't forget they just won their series 4-2 on Father-Daughter Day. Something that I didn't even realize existed until this year. But look it up. October 11th was Father-Daughter Day. I guess I'll just remind, in case you missed my Father-Daughter Day video, which we talked about before the game was over. If you go back and look, these are all facts. LeBron James picked up his 172nd career win on Father-Daughter Day, which equals 172 at the alphabetic order. When you run the alphabetic order in reverse, Father-Daughter Day is 287. Father-Daughter Day fell on his 287th day of his age. Earlier this year, I talked about how Khabib lost his father 287 days after his birthday. So something going on with that. And Khabib just picked up his 29th career win against the opponent whose surname equaled 29. Again, it's going on in all the sports. It's all connected. But, I didn't finish with the Justin Turner thing. Justin Turner. When you run the alphabetic order in reverse, you see how his name equals 135? Tonight, the Dodgers became 13-5 in the 2020 postseason. 13-5. And remember what I said earlier. You know what? Let me just put this post up on the screen because it'll be helpful probably to a lot of people. But I want you to understand the 135 ritual that took place tonight with the Dodgers going 13-5 in the postseason, in the World Series, in Arlington, where earlier this year they fell to 13-5 away on Jackie Robinson Day. Check this out. Jackie Robinson was in the 761st Tank Battalion, known as the Black Panthers. And, by the way, there's Jackie 42. 761 is the 135th prime number. And from the day that... Oh, this is the wrong post. Shoot. Hold on. I got a better one. I think this is the one I wanted to show you. Okay, from the day that's normally Jackie Robinson Day, April 15th, to the day they had it this year, August 28th, 135 days later. And the Dodgers fell to 13-5 away the day that Chadwick Boseman died, the day that was Jackie Robinson Day, at the Rangers, where, again, the World Series is tonight. And by the way, this field, the name of it, Globe Life Park, or is it Globe Life Field? It must be Field. Nope. Oh, it's because I have Globe Life. That's what's wrong. Globe Life. There it is. Globe Life Field. That's what it's called. You see how it's 73? Again, in the most pure cipher, Los Angeles Dodgers is 73, and they did all these rituals with 73 in this World Series. Mookie Betts, the 50 ritual with Charlie Morton making the score 5-0, was on the 73rd pitch. Kershaw's record-setting strikeout all-time for the postseason was the 73rd pitch. Tonight, Snell comes out on the 73rd pitch. And again, this number always plays with the Dodgers. We talk about this number with the Dodgers all the time. All the time. These aren't like new things. These are things that we've been pointing out for years. It's the same stuff every season. But that Globe Life Field, not only is it 73, you see how it's also 109? Los Angeles is 109. And earlier just not that long ago, earlier this month, I was surprised when the Lakers didn't close out in Game 5 on October 9th. The ritual was just so perfect on 10-9 for Los Angeles. And then I found out that there was something called Father-Daughter Day on Sunday. And I said, oh my God, are you kidding me? Father-Daughter Day? And then I saw it and I was like, okay, this is what they're doing. So anyway, that's part of the reason I thought the Lakers would close it out. Because these numbers are important to Los Angeles too. 109. 109. But that's that stadium, Globe Life Field. And again, the Bush family. Bush 50, Mookie Betts number 50. The year of Brady too, right? Brady goes to Tampa Bay. Mookie Betts leaves Boston like Tom Brady, but he goes to L.A. Then they meet in the World Series after the Tampa Bay Lightning win the Stanley Cup. Tom Brady just brings that winning spirit. It's not all rigged and scripted. It's just a bunch of coincidences. Tom Brady's so good, he makes the hockey team the Stanley Cup winner. And by the way, it made a lot of sense that the Tampa Bay Rays were in the 116th World Series. Tampa, Florida, with the alphabetic order is 116. This year was the 116th World Series. What I told my people on Patreon before the season began was that, Mookie Betts coming over in the racial ritual with, just all the other narratives we talk about. I said African Americans 116. I said it looks like the whole riddle runs through the Dodgers and African American. And it's crazy the kind of stuff they did. We had the Dodgers beating the Braves in the NLCS before the season began. In the American League, my theory was just barely off. I said it would be all about George Floyd. And Houston played Minnesota in the first round. Again, Houston and Minnesota, those are the George Floyd cities. He's from Houston. He dies in Minneapolis. The Minnesota Twins. He died in the time of Gemini, the twins in the Twin Cities. And by the way, today leaves 65 days left in the year. George Floyd, 65 in the most pure cipher. Again, all this stuff's connected. There's a George Floyd who played in the NFL who's from Tampa, Florida. But all of this stuff, what I'm just telling you is it's all a riddle. In the AL, I thought at the beginning of the season it would be, for the ALCS, I thought it would be the Yankees and the Twins, because there was the Amy Cooper choking her dog story in Central Park, and then George Floyd getting choked by the park police in Minneapolis on the same day, Memorial Day. So instead, once Houston eliminated Minnesota, I said, okay, Houston will replace Minnesota. And then once the Yankees were against the Rays, once Minnesota was out, I was like, God, because people challenged me at the beginning of the year, my own followers. They said, are you sure it's not going to be the Rays in the ALCS? I said, well, if I'm wrong, it probably will be the Rays, because we talked about the 116 connection. So again, Gematria, it allows you to see things very clearly in the world of sports and the likely outcomes. It's not an exact science, but again, if you understand the riddles and the numbers, you can be ahead of the curve a lot more often than not, as again, I continue to demonstrate, and this community, because there's people who've learned from me who are now, putting out their own picks and making their own videos and doing a great job. I mean, there was a guy who got 3 NASCAR races. He picked the first place driver in 3 straight races. And he learned Gematria from me, but I don't really decode NASCAR. I've given some clues here and there. But he just, he used his own mind with the knowledge, and he hit a lot of money with not a lot of bets, because it pays a lot when you nail the first place car. There's a lot of drivers out in these races. And there's a guy doing it with golf right now. And again, this knowledge, it's not just me, it's people learning and going out and replicating it and doing things they've never done before. There's career gamblers picking up this knowledge who've gambled their whole lives because they're addicted to it, and they've never won more before, because this gives you an extra advantage. But it's not an accident that today leaves 65 days left in the year. We put out a video the day of the George Floyd killing, and we said, watch, it'll be entirely synced with the world of sports. Look it up, you guys. From the day he died to the day that Houston and Minnesota played each other in the NFL, it was 133 days. You see how Minnesota's 133? Well, let me spell it right. It is 133. It's also 52, like how they hosted Super Bowl 52. It's also 38, like how it was happening on 38th Street with George Floyd. But football's 133. Again, it was 133 days from the George Floyd story to the football game. And then, they fired the white coach and replaced him with Romeo Crennel. And then Romeo Crennel, his first day of coaching happened to be his 116th day of his age with Houston. And again, African Americans 116, and Dusty Baker, the ALCS. He advanced to the ALCS on his 116th day of his age, and he was the only African American manager in baseball. Anyway, let me get back onto the World Series, but I'm just trying to show you this language. It just connects across the board. So, did we finish with the Justin Turner thing? Hold on. Justin Turner, his name's also got the 81 in it. We call that the ritual number. Ritual's 81 forwards and backwards. And that 189's another story for another time. But again, his name had the 135 in it. The Dodgers improved to 13-5 today in the postseason after the huge 135 ritual earlier this year with Jackie Robinson Day, on the day Chadwick Boseman died. And don't forget, at the start of that week, the Lakers won on Kobe Bryant Day with 135 points over the Blazers. And Kobe being Bryant's 135. And when the movie 42 came out with Chadwick Boseman, from his November 29th birthday to the release date of the movie, April 12th, that was his 135th day of his age. 2 years ago today, Kobe Bryant did a little announcement for the Dodgers World Series game 2 years ago today. And don't forget, he starred in the movie The Black Mamba with Kanye West, and he crashed in Calabasas, reportedly right next to Kanye West's home in Calabasas, 135 days from Kanye's birthday. So, Bryant 26, ball game 26, game 26. And the note about the 4200 block, I mean, we're always talking about the same things. The numbers are redundant, but here's a nice 42 list for you. Lakers, Jackie, Slavery, Tuskegee, Georgetown, Jesuit. And we'll get down, no doubt about it, it's the Jesuits behind all this. LeBron James, February, the N-word. Mookie Betts. It's right here. We were talking about it back then. This was posted a long time ago. I said, if you think this is a stretch, listen to what I said about Mookie Betts going to the Dodgers on February 4th or 4-2 right after Kobe's death. Here's a video. Let's just watch it real quick.
Welcome back, Truth Seeker. I think a lot of people missed this. Huge trade in Major League Baseball, February 4th, 2020. The Red Sox sending Mookie Betts and David Price to the Los Angeles Dodgers. But you have to look at the date it was done. February 4th, 4/2 like 42. Of course, Jackie Robinson, number 42, played for the Dodgers. And here we're talking about two of the best black baseball players in Major League, Mookie Betts and David Price, being traded on this specific day to this specific team. And of course, in the code of Gematria, Jackie equals 42, along with the not-so-nice N-word, along with the month February, Black History Month, along with a lot of words that are associated with black history, including bus, including names like Martin and Malcolm X, and Tuskegee, and Huxtable, and the list goes on. If you've never read my book, the 18th chapter is about all the rituals done in U.S. history with black Americans. And I was just down in NOLA, New Orleans, NOLA 42, where just days before I got there, the rapper Fifth Ward Weeby had died at age 42 days from his birthday before the local LSU Tigers won with 42 points. And since then, we've just seen Patrick Mahomes become the third black quarterback to win a Super Bowl, throwing 42 passes in the game, being from the state of Missouri, which equals 42. The only two black quarterbacks to win before him, Russell Wilson from Washington State, the 42nd state, and Doug Williams of the Washington Redskins, who won with 42 points, throwing 4 touchdowns in the second quarter. Doug Williams is 64 years old at the time Patrick Mahomes wins. Civil rights equals 64, like the Civil Rights Act is 64. Kansas City Chiefs also equal 64, and of course the Super Bowl was synced up with Joe Montana's 64th birthday, who played for the Niners and Chiefs. But anyway, 42 here, 42 there. Always using these numbers for race-based rituals, and I haven't seen anyone in the community bring up the significance of this trade on February 4th, 4-2. I'd keep your eyes on the Dodgers this year. They're already one of the best teams in baseball. LA just had a major athlete reportedly die. Of course, I'm talking about Kobe Bryant. He crashed in the middle of the field, but all the mainstream media said he crashed on the 4200 block. Again, another 42 they threw out there. So, a few other things about this. From Mookie Betts' birthday to the trade was his 121st day of his age. He was traded to L.A. L is the 12th letter. A is the first. 12-1, 121. And then David Price, the other part of the trade, he was traded 162 days after his birthday. Of course, baseball 62 with the reverse alphabetic order. Major League Baseball's 162 with the alphabetic order. And we'll go back up to the headline at the top, but they emphasize the phrase, the 20s are going to be the Dodgers' decade, 162. A team that hasn't won the World Series since 1988, but has been very competitive in recent years. And there's that emphasized phrase. And one more thing about all the 42s, with regards to Mookie Betts, who's the bigger part of the trade, his initials are MB. M is the 13th letter, and in numerology, 13 is 1 plus 3 is 4. B is the second letter. So M breaks down to 4 in numerology, B is 2, so his initials are 4-2 as well. Learn to recognize the code, Truth Seeker. Oftentimes, it's done in not so nice ways. Twice this past NFL season, you saw Miami Dolphins shamed for supposedly domestic abuse. One was on the day leaving 42 days left in the year. The next was on a 42-date numerology. Last year, you saw the same thing with Kareem Hunt, and it's been done again and again over the years with black celebrities, from athletes to musicians to movie stars. Till next time.
Hey, no, I didn't mean to make the video 4 minutes and 42 seconds. I never time my videos, but just how it worked out. And again, I mean, I said, better watch those Dodgers. They're already the top team. And once I'm on Patreon, I'm telling people, man, this is the Dodgers year. I mean, they're just, it's just blatant what they did. So, Lakers get the 17th. Dodgers get the 7th. 17's the 7th prime. They got number 7 on the mound to close it out. And the other thing is the Dodgers improved to 6-6 in World Series in the time they've been in L.A. And, again, just the most straightforward ciphers. Lakers 66, LeBron 66, LeBron James is also 66. You know, LeBron James 42, right? LeBron James 42. Both teams win the championship this year, 4-2. The league scripted around LeBron and the NFL scripted around Brady. It comes together through this narrative. Boston loses Brady and Mookie. They meet in the World Series. Oh, check this out. Check out Tom Brady's full name, by the way. Tom Brady's full name in the most pure cipher equals 116. 116. And 116th World Series. Tampa, Florida. His full name's also 287, like that thing they did with LeBron. Tampa, Florida, 116. The ritual for the Dodgers. And, by the way, with regards to it being 32 years and the Dodgers scoring 32 runs in the World Series. Again, if you add up Game 1 through Game 6, the Dodgers scored 32 runs. They came in with 29. They scored 3 more tonight, 32. And again, it's been 32 years since they won the World Series. Clayton Kershaw, 32 years old, improved to 3-2 in the World Series all time. And when it comes to the Jesuits, their logo, the one you see on the screen, the Templar cross, the IHS, the 3 nails, their logo has 32 sun rays if you count them up. Who'd they play this year? The Rays, who got the sun rays coming off their logo. And again, we're saying year after year, it's the Jesuits who control the world of sports. And they couldn't have made it any more obvious with what they did in Game 1. Kershaw, and again, you guys, Game 1 of this World Series fell on October 20th, which was the 32-year anniversary of the Dodgers winning the World Series in 1988. And Clayton Kershaw came in with 88 career losses. He won both games in the World Series, staying on 88 career losses. Walker Buehler picked up a win 88 days after his birthday. And but Kershaw, in Game 1, he moved to second all-time with 201 career postseason strikeouts. And again, remember, that's the number of the Jesuits. Pope Francis. We're living in the time of Pope Francis, the first Jesuit pope, the first ever pope to live in Suite 201 at the Vatican. Again, the name of the room where Suite 201 is. The name of the building is the Domus Sancte Marte, which even equals 201. His birth name, Pope Francis, Jorge Mario Bergoglio's 201, Ignatius of Loyola's 201, Catholic Pope's 201, the Jesuit Order's 201. Again, this number, large and in charge with the Jesuits. We've been talking about it all year, along with the number 56. And anyway, Kershaw, after Game 1 with the 201 strikeouts, and then 32 years and 32 sun rays, and doing it against the Rays. I mean, it just couldn't be any more obvious, could it? Especially after we've just been pointing it out all year. And think about how they call America, not America. Think how they call baseball America's pastime. America in the most Pierce ciphers, 32. 7/4/1776, a date with 32 numerology. Remember how they wanted to start the baseball season on July 4th, but then they ended up starting it on July 23rd with the huge Jesuit ritual with Garrett, Cole, and Fauci, which we talked about then. But America's 32. And again, baseball, America's pastime. By the way, you guys, again, tonight, Game 6, right? Game 6. At the end of the 6th inning, the Dodgers took the lead 2-1. Thanks to Mookie Betts. Got the inning going. Scored, beating the throw home. But 2-1 in the 6th. You read that like 21. 21, the 6th triangular number. Jackie, 21. He gives them the lead. They go on to win it from there. He hits a home run to add on another run, and then he gets shafted on the MVP. Oh, man. Stephen A. Smith's going to be hot about it tomorrow. All those guys on ESPN know all these games are rigged. And they make a living wearing a suit and duping people into falling for all of it, getting emotionally invested. I would love for them to let me go on ESPN and debate Stephen A. Smith about sports being rigged. Oh my goodness. That would be a wipeout. But I got to come back to this. Hold on, let me make sure I'm hitting all my slides here. Again, I got to send a shout out, man. I'm a little bit all over the place because I'm still slowly working on the hot box, which I really appreciate. Person who follows this work gave me this as a gift. They are called Natural Cannabis, and they are in Oakland. And again, they're not paying me anything to do this. I'm just saying, they just sent me a lot of nice little things, man. I've just been nursing it, but it is good stuff. But sometimes when I'm doing the presentations, I'm like, man, the downside of the green stuff makes you forget exactly where you were just a moment ago. Anyway, let me get back to it. Oh, yeah. I just got to recap. I think this was my favorite moment of the World Series. Because, again, I said it's all about Mookie and 50 and chasing 50. And, again, the 73rd pitch of the game, Mookie Betts, number 50, facing Charlie Morton, who was on that Astros team that beat the Dodgers in the 113th World Series, which we called months in advance. We saw that script real clear. But on the 73rd pitch, he made it 5-0. Pitcher number 50 versus batter number 50. Dodgers on the way to the 50th National League World Series. And not only did the Dodgers get to 6-6 in World Series in the time of LA, they kept the National League on 66 World Series wins. Or not the National League. They kept the American League on 66 World Series wins. But the date of this ritual was October 23rd, 2020. Date was 73, numerology, Los Angeles Dodgers, 73. Go watch the highlight of Kershaw setting the strikeout record. You'll see it was his 73rd pitch. Watch Blake Snell get pulled tonight, 73rd pitch. You know, rewind through years and years of Patreon daily decodes of MLB and see often we talk about the Dodgers in 73. And sports being scripted to the pitch, and you see these moments year after year. But here it is, before tonight. AL led 66-49. Now they got 50. And they couldn't have scripted it any better. Oh, also, here was this. This was Mookie Betts leading the player protest on August 26th, 42 days from his birthday. Again, we've been calling him the new Jackie all year, Jackie 42. Oh my God. And that's right, Giannis led the player protest in the NBA that day. And then that's when the Milwaukee players said they felt like they didn't want to play anymore. They felt like they should go home. But anyway, it was 102 days from his birthday. The N-word's 42 and 102. Slavery's 42 and 102. And the movie, The Number 42, it released on April 12th. That's the 102nd day of the year. Remember what they did this year on the NFL on the day leaving 102 days left in the year? Oh my God. They had the most black quarterbacks versus the most black quarterbacks ever in the history of the NFL. And they promoted that and made a big deal about it on the day leaving 102 days left in the year. They the cover art for the NFL story on that was Deshaun Watson and Lamar Jackson. And that day the Ravens won and became 10-2 against the Texans all time, like 102. But hold on, why is it not coming up? April 12th, 2013. That's the day 42 came out. That's the 102nd day of the year. George Perry Floyd equals 102. Remember how they tore down all the Civil War statues? Civil War began on that day in history. It had a lot to do with slavery. Slavery's 102. But, oh yeah, they had this whole new game thing going on during the slogan for the NBA bubble, which had to do with Black Lives Matter, which is the 17th prime, like Bubble's 17, and the Lakers got their 17th championship playing in the bubble. Think about it, too. These big cities, right? And they're not able to experience in person winning the championship. It happens in this weird year, this year of sickness. So, well, this year really of a massive agenda. Okay, yeah, just things we were reminding of along the way. Mookie Betts, Patrick Mahomes, contracts, the rituals, the scripting. So again, 32 years, Jesuit tributes throughout, 32 sun rays. I mean, it's not hard to see. It is not hard to see. And what was funny is I started my live stream. Sorry again, you guys. I started about 10 minutes late on my live stream earlier today for Patreon. And the reason why is I was about to start the live stream and this music video popped up on like a trending thing. And I saw it said, came out a couple weeks ago. And I just saw Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Eminem, new music video. I thought, I didn't hear anything about this. So anyway, I took the time to watch the music video just to see if there'd be anything interesting in it. You know, when you know this language and what's going on, you watch the world with new eyes. And I was glad I watched it because at the end, Dr. Dre's walking through the graveyard with flowers. And I was like, oh, great. Who are they going to show on the... And then sure enough, they get here and it's Eazy-E, Eric Wright. And I said, you know what? I haven't looked at Eazy-E's death in a long time. Probably back in 2014, 2015, I did a video on his death and the Ice Cube album Lethal Injection. Well, I know a lot more than the last time I looked into Eazy-E's death, and something jumped out to me in a real big way. From his birthday, September 7th, Eazy-E, to the day he died, March 26th, it was his 201st day of his age, 201. And what have I been saying all this year? This year, it's really dawned on me. No wonder they do all these Jesus rituals with rappers, because it's the Society of Jesus that's behind all this. And again, there's a double Society of Jesus connection to the day he died. But his 201st day of his age, big sports story last Thursday night, Boston Scott, the 201st pick of the draft. Clayton Kershaw, 201 Ks, just numbers we've just talked about all year in many different ways. Big number with the Jesuits, who are known to be killers through poisoning throughout history, and a lot of people believe that Eazy-E was truly poisoned, because supposedly he died from HIV and AIDS very rapidly, unlike any other case, especially very much unlike Magic Johnson's, number 32, speaking of a 32 who's now connected to the Dodgers. But, and speaking of where the Lakers just won their championship down in Orlando, the home of the Magic, like how Kobe got his 4th ring also against the Magic. Well, I guess LeBron didn't technically get his against the Magic, but he got it in their town. Magic, the Laker. But, before I come back to this Eazy-E thing, you know how the White Sox had the first no-hitter of the year this year in MLB? If you didn't know that, the White Sox had the first no-hitter of the year. And I was thinking about the meaning of that, because usually there's a riddle with the first no-hitter in the World Series. And what I came up with was more confirmation. And you could call this confirmation bias, but to me it made a lot of sense once I thought about it. I said, okay, I'm on the Dodgers to win the World Series. 1988, the year NWA came out, the hip-hop group out of LA, and they all wore White Sox hats. And the only one that I really remembered before I started to look at it was Dr. Dre. And then I was like, whoa, look at all the old pictures of him. Eazy-E's in a White Sox hat. Ice Cube's in a White Sox hat. They just put out White Sox also equals 42. And the Dodgers beat I think the first World Series the Dodgers won in LA was over the White Sox in 1959, if I'm not mistaken. You can look that up. I'm pretty sure that's right. But yeah, they came out in 1988. That was the year the Dodgers won the World Series last. Well, until now. So I am pretty sure that is actually why they had the White Sox throw the first no-hitter. Just like how they scripted the 73rd NBA season around Drake and his album coming out on Kawhi Leonard's birthday. And again, you start to see how it is. The Jesuits, they're controlling your government. They're controlling your entertainment, your sports leagues, your movies, your TV shows. And they got it all planned out. And they're doing little rituals, paying tribute here and there. I think they do it. They don't expect people to see what they're up to. But they really are putting it right in people's face. Chadwick Boseman on Jackie Robinson Day. Lakers win the championship on Father-Daughter Day, the year Kobe and Gianna die. Jackie's funeral anniversary. Mookie bets on 4-2 trade. Anyway. 201st day, Eazy-E's age. And that day that he died, 26/3, March 26th, that's the 56th prime. Society of Jesus is 56. That's the Jesuits, who are all about that 201. Event 201 was the coronavirus outbreak simulation. Coronavirus 56, 201. And remember, Eazy-E's birthday, September 7th, that's the day in history that Tupac was shot in 96, a little more than a year after Eazy-E's death. And so Tupac gets shot on Eazy-E's birthday. And then he dies on September 13th, 13/9, Tupac Shakur 139. But then they put out the album Machiavelli, Tupac's alias, after his death on the big Jesuit day, November 5th. Remember the 5th of November, the Guy Fawkes plot date? They used that in the movie V for Vendetta. But the big Jesuit day is the day leaving 56 days left in the year. Again, the Jesuits are the Society of Jesus, 56. And Society of Jesus, Tupac on the cross. Remember, rapper, killing, Jesus, cross, Messiah, gospel parables. They're all 74. Jesus spoken parables. The story of Jesus' life's the gospel. Tupac is 61 and 74, where Jesus and cross are 74 and 61. So, Again, it's not hard to see. It's not hard to see who's doing all of this. And it makes sense because this is what the Catholic Church was exposed for in the Protestant Reformation. Again, the Jesuits served the Catholic Church. That the Catholic Church was behind corruption. That they were trying to poison communities so that people would, they'd go to the brothel, they'd go to the whorehouse, and stuff. And you know what? I don't want to be judgmental, but in terms of their own religion, these things are considered bad. And anyway, I'm not trying to cast. Just that's beside the point. The point is, the Catholic Church was funding things in communities that were considered sin. And the reason why is because they realized that when those people did that, who were members of the church, they would come in on Sunday and they'd be the ones to put the most in the plate. And then they'd pay for indulgences, which the Catholic Church offered. Pay for these indulgences to have your sins forgiven. Oh, you went to the whorehouse this weekend. Well, pay this much and God will forgive you. And they were building an empire this way. And they did. Taking advantage of people. And again, that's what the controllers have always done, is take advantage of people. That's what goes on in this world. But anyway, it's the same thing with all this gangster rap music and all these studio gangsters promoting all this negative behavior so that the people who listen to it will go out and replicate it. And, a lot of them end up in the prison industrial complex, which is all run by the same people. But anyway, this song that just came out, it's also called The Heat, right after the Lakers beat the Heat, while LA's burning again during the time of a World Series, something I've been talking about for years. Again, Vice News wrote that article making fun of me in 2017 for saying why Houston would beat LA while Houston was flooded and LA was on fire. But wildfires got that Gematria 57 like World Series, like how it ends today, the day with 57 numerology. But yeah, Eazy-E's death is also synced up with Ice Cube's Lethal Injection album, which I covered years ago. But now that I understand these Jesuit numbers better, it's like, okay, so years ago, this is the one thing I didn't understand. Who was really behind all of it? I knew it was these secret societies. I've considered the Jesuits for a long time, but now I know it's them. These are their numbers. These are their ritualistic numbers. They've done so much with these numbers. It's going to be their undoing. And remember, the Jesuits came into being in the 16th century, the same time the calendar we got on was put out, the same time English was standardized as a 26-letter alphabet, the same time we went to the heliocentric model, which is also Catholic-related, and heliocentric's 201. It's where they say the sun is 93 million miles away, and again, crucifix is 93, and God's son's 93, and the Christian section of the Bible begins with the 930th chapter. Again, it's all numbered. And that's why number 56, Randy Arozarena, was the big star of this World Series where the Dodgers picked up the 56th win to win it all. And, right, just as soon as they took down this stat, he jacked a home run out of the park for his 10th home run, 28th hit, and his 63rd total bases. 63 is a big number with the Rays. As soon as they took down this stat, that's what happened. He hit a home run. Rays is 63. It was the 5th pitch of the game. I think they had that stat up while it was either the 3rd or 4th pitch. But Rays 63. Remember, Major League is 63. Remember, Major League Baseball 63. And there's just so much to say about all these numbers. Major League Baseball 162, the number of games in a season. Go back a few years on June 3rd. The first no-hitter of the season was thrown, and a record amount of grand slams were hit that day. There were 7 total league-wide. That was the 154th day of the year. Grand Slams 154. Again, so was Doubleday. American baseball credited to the Freemason Abner Doubleday. But Major League Baseball, next number, 351, the 26th triangular number. Game 26, God 26, ball game 26, Jordan 26, Bryant 26, Jordan gliding through the air, knees tucked back. Look at that famous poster, 351 on the clock in the background. And I swear that's the reason why. That is the reason why. For the greater glory of God. 351. 351, again, is the 26th triangular number. God's 26. That's a Jesuit motto. And Major League Baseball, also 117. So is Dodgers. Dodgers started off the World Series winning Game 1, becoming 11-7 against the Rays all time. And the other year, it was Roy Halladay dying off the coast of Holiday, Florida, on November 7th, 117, the day leaving 54 days left in the year. Baseball, 54, 54. MLB, 54. Again, 54 outs in a game. 54 total runs scored in this World Series. Again, 32 by the Dodgers, winning the first World Series in 32 years. And 22 by Tampa Bay, which makes sense mathematically, too, because Tampa Bay's 79, and that's the 22nd triangular number. So they put up 22 runs in the World Series. Oh, and then for the clincher, you guys, here's the clincher. You don't think it's the Jesuits? I haven't given you enough evidence here. From the day that Mookie was traded to today, 266 days later. You see that? 266. Remember, Pope Francis, the first Jesuit pope, who is the 266th pope, who spoke on the White House lawn on September 23rd, 2015, the 266th day of the year. But the Jesuit motto, Isus Hominum Salvator, it's 266. You see how it's also 122? 122. The name Pope Francis is 122. He's the 266th Pope, the first Jesuit. Again, their motto, Isus Hominum Salvator. From his birthday, December 17th, it's his birthday, Saturnalia if you want to look it up, it is, to the day he became Pope, oh, shoot. I'm thinking of something else. I forget what it is. But I hear, you know what? Since I do have the plural Jesuits is 86. There's something with Pope Francis in 85. It must be his encyclical. Anyway, I'll let it go. But that 85 thing, basketball's 85. And don't forget, the Madness in 1984. Jesuits 84. John Thompson was coaching. Well, anyway, the first March Madness. Hold on, you guys. I'm blaming it on the chocolates, but Isus Hominum Salvator is 85. The first March Madness was in 1985, and basketball is 85. That year, the college championship was Catholic Villanova defeating Jesuit Georgetown, and Georgetown won the championship in 84. John Thompson was the first African-American coach to win the championship, doing it with Georgetown, the Jesuit school, in 84. So notice how Jesuits 84, it's also 78. John Thompson just died at age 78 on a Sunday, on a date with 78 numerology that we called a Super 78 date before it even happened. And notice how Jesuit is 84, 21, 78. Look at Sunday, 84, 21, 78. John Thompson dead at 78 on a Sunday with 78 date numerology. Again, won the championship in 84. And did you see how Jesuit's also 42? Again, Mookie bet on 4-2 in February 42. Jackie 42 in the same cipher as Jesuit, as Tuskegee, as slavery. But again, Jesuit 42 from the 4-2 signing of Mookie Betts or trade, whatever it was. February 4th, from that day to the day he wins the World Series, 4-2, 266 days later. Kobe drafted on 26/6, dead 266 days after his wife's birthday. Again, so many rituals with these same numbers that we just talk about again and again in so many different ways. And if you want lots of examples of these numbers, get my new book, Number Games, 9/11 to Coronavirus. There's a lot of stuff in here. Huge chapter on Kobe's death that touches on all sorts of things, including, Jackie and 42 and many other things I talked about in this video. $50 and $35, huh? 85, add it up. And here's the weird Donald Trump piece. The name Donald is 50, right? With the alphabetic order. And Trump is 88. And again, it's the 48-year anniversary of Jackie Robinson's funeral. Date of Jackie Robinson funeral, it was October 27th, 1972, which again is also Philadelphia's establishment date. Kobe from Philly, dead in L.A. a day after LeBron passes Kobe in points scored in Philly. Remember? Big coincidences, right? Just big coincidences. Chadwick Boseman, Kobe, LeBron. A million other things. Again, that's why I call it the coincidence programming. But, yeah, there's probably a few more things I should have covered. But it's okay. We'll take some calls. If there's any coincidence theorists, people just think it's all a coincidence, I would love to hear from you. I saw somebody leave a comment. They said their parlay on the Lakers finals win and the Dodgers World Series win came through, and they are very happy today. I imagine there's quite a few people in that camp because we did not waver at all on the Dodgers or the Lakers winning their championships. The Riddles were just too good. And I think I opened the... Yeah, I did. All right, we got our first call here. New York, the original home of the Dodgers. What's up?
Hey, this is Zach.
This is Zach. What's up?
Yeah, what's up? So do you think down the line maybe they might sacrifice LeBron or something in some kind of ritual?
Well, I did a video many years ago when LeBron signed his monster contract with Nike. It was this huge 44 ritual while Nike was 44 years old. And I said that day, I don't think LeBron's going to live to be an old person. And, is LeBron someone who ends up dying at age 44, 42? Because that's exactly what I said. That was years ago that LeBron signed that contract. That was like 2014 or 15, but... Yeah, I still have that same thought because that's how it works in this show business, and everyone sees it this year with Kobe. So,
yeah, I always knew something was fishy with all these people dying.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll give it to the next one.
All right. You have a good night.
You too.
That's it. Staying up late on the East Coast. It's important to get that sleep. But yeah, just unbelievable. All the 135s we talked about earlier this year, the day of Chadwick Boseman's death. Now the Dodgers win it in that same stadium, 13-5 in the postseason. They lost 3 games to the Braves and 2 to the Rays, and they swept the rest of their series. And here, we'll just put up the graphic right here. You can add it up while we take the next call. It's all right there. Caller?
Hey, Zach, how you doing?
Doing well.
I was calling in because it's just kind of hard for me to believe that the sports are rigged. But I love your show. I love your channel. It's just hard to believe that they can rig it so perfectly, though.
Well,
it has to be a whole bunch of people in on it, and everybody can't keep a secret.
I disagree.
So how many people
I
do you
disagree.
think
I disagree with that whole statement because, listen, the only things you're hearing in the world is what's put on the news and through the broadcast. And who's controlling that? Do the players just get to go on there and blurt out whatever they want whenever they want? And a lot of these athletes, they went to college, and the things they did besides practice sports, they had special classes, how to deal with the media, what to say to the media, what not to say to the media. These people have been trained their whole lives for what they're doing, and they're paid very well to do what they do. Again, most of these athletes make more in a season than most people will ever make in a lifetime slaving away at a job that they don't care for. And
correct.
So, again, I was going to high school in the town of Vancouver, Washington. I got to watch somebody get called up from working at the grocery store, like Kurt Warner, literally, to being the kicker for the Seattle Seahawks, Ryan Lindell. And again, he went from essentially begging groceries to an NFL salary to be able to cross. Because I mean, a lot of these athletes, they're in that same situation. If they're not playing their sport, what are they doing? Working at a grocery store for minimum wage, $10 an hour. Again, there's a lot of reasons to be quiet. And I don't know. I see things in sports that I can't explain too, and it makes me wonder what really is going on. But I also see plenty of things where I just go, how can people not see that it is rigged? Fred VanVleet dribbling out.
The only thing that gives me.
Hold on, I want you to respond to this. Fred VanVleet dribbling out the clock when his team needs 2 possessions. How is that possible when your whole season's on the line, when you're the point guard and you're paid millions to play in the NBA? You don't know, as a point guard, you need to be very aggressive and get down the court efficiently and get a shot off so you can have a second possession? He just dribbles out the whole clock? This kind of stuff goes on year after year. The way these games end so often. Mike Stanton in his most important at-bat of the season looked so angry. They had the camera zoomed in on his face, and he just sat there with the bat on his shoulder, didn't swing at 3 very good-looking hittable pitches, just watches him go right over the plate, and a crucial strikeout in Game 7 against the Rays, or Game 5, or whatever it was, the deciding game. Mike Stanton, one of the best hitters in the world, just sits there with the bat on his shoulder. I mean, pro sports are a joke.
Telling him not to swing, Zach?
Hell yeah, he was told not to swing. Did you play baseball as a hitter? If the game's on the line and you got 2 strikes, you're defending anything around the plate. He just looked at a fastball over the plate to go down on 3 strikes? No way. With the bat just chilling on his shoulder. This stuff goes on year after year. This is nothing new. That's why I'm convinced that the only people who don't think pro sports are rigged are people who don't have a clue how to play any of these games. That's what I think.
Well, I played sports, Zach. I even coached them, so I'm not that guy who didn't play sports. But the only thing
you play baseball? You play baseball?
No, I didn't play baseball.
Exactly. So you're watching Mike Stanton thinking it's possible to just go up there with your bat just so casually, just on your shoulder, almost like it was glued there, like it was duct tape on. And these pitches were so hittable. It wasn't like he was looking at the nastiest stuff ever. Looking like he was looking at batting practice.
Yeah. Now, what about that field goal? How does that ball go?
Technology. Look at some of these kicks. They're like slicing right, and then they
to the right.
Exactly.
Now that's the only thing that gets me. Now that field goal, I will never believe that those are real kicks. Now this like unbelievable to me. You can see the ball going left like it has no chance of going in, and it curves in and goes in like. That's the only thing that gets me with the rig sport. You haven't noticed any basketball shots like that in the NBA? The Damian Lillard shot against to take out the OKC.
Pay attention in the NBA. There is a lot of weird mechanics with the ball. I saw Tyler Hero in a game that came down to the wire. Tyler Hero had a point-blank lay-in at the rim, and the way it came off and rolled off, I was like, come on, that ball should have been in. That ball was pushed out.
Right.
The Globetrotters make everything from beyond half court. They should be able to beat every NBA team. I don't think they've missed a beyond half court shot since like 1970 something. I think whatever they've been using in the NBA, they've had for a minute.
Yeah. It's nice talking to you, Zach. I ain't gonna hold you up. I know some more people want to get through, but hey, man, nice show, nice channel. I'm still learning. That's why I'm still watching you.
All right, I appreciate it. All right, man. You have a good night. No one who could play baseball could ever tell me that Mike Stanton's at-bat in the end of this postseason against the Rays was a real at-bat. And they kept zooming in on his face, too. Like, you could just see his expression, like, I can't believe I have to go up here and look like a chump. And just like Fred VanVleet, he looked like, I can't believe I have to dribble out the clock like an asshole. But again, they're getting paid a lot of money to do it. Yeah, they're going to look like a punk in front of millions of people, but they know it's the United States of amnesia. Everyone will forget. What's up, caller?
Hey, Zach. I just wanted to get your take on this with the NBA. I don't know if you've talked about this yet. I've been watching now for like a year. Have you talked about the return date at all, being on January 18th?
Oh, is that what they ended up going with, January 18th?
Martin Luther King Day, yeah, Junior Day.
Well, I'm sure LeBron will be playing. If they have LeBron and the Warriors play again on Martin Luther King Jr. Day, I'm gonna die. But
yeah, I They talked about it 2 weeks ago.
Well, okay, 118. Let's
Christmas
just
Day.
talk about 118, the day it comes back. I call that the Los Angeles number. Again, Los Angeles, California's 118. It's on the 118th Meridian West. The birthday at LA is September 4th, the day leaving 118 days left in the year. The current mayor's Eric Garcetti, 118. In this World Series, when the Dodgers lost Game 2, they became 11-8 against the Rays all time, like 118. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania is also 118. And with this whole, Dodgers winning on Philly's birthday and the Kobe thing, maybe Ben Simmons is healthy next year. I might have to think about that because I expect the Lakers to take it. Philadelphia's 61, the 18th prime. Next Lakers championship's 18. So that could make some sense. But, yeah, I'll look at it more. So I heard that they were going to start the season on December 1st, which seems so sudden. January 18th seems a little bit more realistic. I'm going to do some research on that, so I appreciate the heads up.
Yeah, no problem, man. Are you going to go over the games tomorrow afternoon or tonight for Thursday Night Football?
Well, this is the open public. I'll do that on Patreon tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Are you doing that at the earlier times, though?
I'll probably do it later now that there's not a baseball game, so. Because more people participate in the later time of the day, so I'll probably start a little bit later. But yeah, we'll do it tomorrow.
All right, cool, thanks.
Yeah. All right, see you. Hold on, I want to confirm what he just said, though. They put up that stat on Thursday Night Football last week while the Eagles were at 118 yards on offense. All right, NBA targeting January 18th start. Well, is this the latest information? This is actually from a few weeks ago. I actually saw something more recent that said December 1st. All right, let's see. Caller?
Hey, Zach. I just wanted to say a few things. You might already be aware of this stuff, but just in case you're not, it doesn't hurt to ask. But in regards to Mookie Betts, when he first got traded, I hadn't heard of him until I heard about the trade. And when I saw the name Mookie, I instantly thought of the movie, the Spike Lee movie, Do the Right Thing.
Okay.
Because his character is Mookie.
Right.
And he wore that Jackie Robinson Dodgers jersey the whole movie, and it dealt with, race relations, and
right.
He burnt down the pizza shop, and there were, cops killed.
That movie came out on July 21st in history, which is the day the Jesuits were banned. The only reason I know that is because it came out on my birthday, and I always liked that movie. That movie came out in 89, too, and Los Angeles Dodgers is 89, and Jackie Robinson's 89. So, yeah, I bet you... Yeah, I bet you that movie is a big part of the riddle. That's a good catch.
Yeah, and it was right after, I think, the Dodgers last won the World Series, or the year after.
It was the year after, right.
Another thing, too...
Oh, and it's set in Brooklyn, and they used to be the Brooklyn Dodgers, which makes all the more sense.
Yeah, for sure. I like the movie, too, by the way. But another thing, too, was the Giants and Eagles game was... all the stuff that dealt with Trump and Biden that whole game, all the riddles. The one thing I noticed at the end was Carson Wentz throwing the winning touchdown. I noticed that the name Wentz and the name Trump are 3 out of 4 in Gematria, and I noticed, Carson Wentz wears number 11, and New York is the 11th state, I think.
New York is the 11th state, yeah.
Yep. So number 11 and his name 3 out of 4 with Trump, or last name. And the last thing I wanted to say was, this was last month. I don't know if you caught this. I don't remember hearing anything about it on any of your videos. But were you familiar with the COVID numbers on Google on September 11th?
No, tell me.
So, and I saw it. It's real. There's got to be a screenshot of it somewhere. But on the anniversary of 9/11 this year, on Google, since they're tracking, all the the COVID numbers, like the number of, worldwide, the number of people recovered, number of deaths, all that. On September 11th, the anniversary of this year, at one point in the day, the numbers, it has like number of recovered, and then right next to it, number of deaths. The number of recovered was 1.9 million, and the number of deaths was 911,000.
Huh.
Kind of like the 19th anniversary of 9/11.
Right. Indeed.
Or like the 19 hijackers on 9/11.
Right. That's interesting.
So, yeah, it was there, but
For the record, today is Spike Lee's 222nd day of his age, 222. That just reminds me of the Super Bowl, how it was 222 weeks after the Royals won the World Series and Andy Reid got his 222nd career win. That 222 showed up a lot this year, so that's interesting. I realize now Spike Lee's birthday is the exact same day that Tom Brady officially signed with Tampa Bay as well, March 20th. So, interesting.
Yeah, anyway, that's all I wanted to say in case anyone didn't know. So,
all right, appreciate it. Take care. See you. All right. But yeah, let's go out to Orlando, Florida. Orlando.
Hey, what's going on? I'm calling talk to Zach. Well, anyways, is my caller right now, sir?
Yep, this is it.
Okay, hey, so anyways, I just want to ask you real quick. I don't want to get into politics too much, but everything you're talking about everything being scripted makes me think about The Simpsons and how they predicted a lot of things and predictive programming and things like that. One of the things that I was thinking about with Donald Trump, showed his death on there. I'm not into. I don't know how to do gematria like that. But do you see anything in the numbers that may predict something or anything along those lines?
Well, what I've talked about the whole time is that the next president to die in office is the 9th, and he's the 45th president. And when you add 1 through 9 together, it's 45. 45 is the 9th triangular number, just like how Major League equals 45. And again, 9 innings in a baseball game. 9 represents completion. So that's something that stood out. We'll see if he makes it. He's almost at the finish line.
When do you expect something like this possibly to happen?
Well, I mean, they could do it any time. I mean, we're on their time schedule. So, we talked about something earlier this year. There was a simulation done by these people in D.C., some higher-ups, and they simulated a really close and contested election where both sides are fighting over who actually won, and all this chaos breaks out, and there's all these different scenarios, but I don't know. I mean, it could happen as soon as the election. I mean, we're living in crazy times.
I was just about to say, I think something crazy is going to happen in the next week or two, just completely out of nowhere. It wasn't really out of nowhere.
Well, remember the date November 5th, man. Remember the 5th of November. It's that big Jesuit day. It's the Guy Fawkes Plot Day, which is about overthrowing and, wiping out kings and whatnot. So, yeah, there could be some crazy stuff in the near future, indeed.
Right. Well, thanks for answering, Zach. Excellent channel. Keep doing the thing, man. You do a great job. Appreciate it.
All right. Appreciate it. Take care. All right. Again, if you got here late, this year, Jackie Robinson Day. It wasn't April 15th due to coronavirus. It was August 28th, the day Chadwick Boseman died, and that was 135 days after it normally is. The Dodgers lost that day in Texas, where they just won the World Series. They fell to 13-5 away. Today, they became 13-5 in the postseason. That was the week of Kobe Bryant Day. Kobe Bean Bryant 135. The Lakers won with 135 points on Kobe Bryant Day. And the movie, number 42 with Chadwick Boseman, it even came out 135 days, or on his 135th day of his age, And Jackie Robinson was in the 761st Tank Brigade, the 135th Prime. They were called the Black Panthers. Caller?
Hey, what's up, man?
What's up?
So I was going to say, man, I've been trying to tell my buddy of mine about the sports being rigged. I think the Falcons game and, the Lions, that should tell it to you. If you're getting paid millions of dollars you down, like, just run the clock a little bit, kick a field goal,
Oh, I mean, I don't know how everyone watched Super Bowl 51 and then watched the NFL the next season. I mean, Super Bowl 51, that couldn't have been any more scripted. It was just pathetic to watch. So.
Exactly. I mean, I feel like if you're getting paid millions of dollars, you're not going to make a mistake like that, And then the guy from the Falcons guy, he noticed after he broke the tackle, he's like, I should have scored a touchdown, and he tried not to cross the plane, but the ball ended hitting the plane, so like, get a touchdown. Then on top of that, they had like less than a minute left, if that, and drove all the way down the field and get a touchdown or a field goal or something, to win the game. But that was just like, come on.
Yeah.
It's just unreal.
It goes on week after week.
Tonight's game, I was the baseball game. I was listening to it tonight. I was listening to my phone, the ESPN app. I didn't hear all what she said, but I know she said scripted because my kids were being loud. But like they was doing some interviewing, and I don't know who she was interviewing, but she said something to the extent of something like, could you imagine you'd been scripted any better or something like that? And just the fact that I heard scripted, I'm like, man, like, come on,
They say it all the time. They use the word scripted all the time in sports. So.
But how do people just not wake up to that? It's just like that's what I'm saying. What can we do to wake people up to see this?
Well, they got to get over themselves because it really does all come back to their ego. They can't admit that they've been duped by these rigged games all this year. Then they start feeling like they're dumb. So, and that's the problem. I mean, humanity has been dumbed down purposefully. The chemicals in the food and the water, the shit education system, which is not education, it's indoctrination. All of this is the reason that people can't see the obvious or do the obvious and are dependent on others, and it's societal. So.
Well, I've been following you for a long time. I'm on your $5 Patreon, man. I appreciate you having me, to give a bit of money. But I want to ask you a little quick politics before I head out. So I saw you said a lot of things towards Biden, the 46 stuff. I saw an article the other day. It said if Trump don't win, we will see a civil war. Did you see that article?
Who wrote that?
I don't know. I'd have to go back and look at it, but it was something that popped in my news feed. And I was telling my buddy of mine, me and him been talking a long time. He's a big, Trump fan. And I said, man, they keep doing all this stuff. We have a civil war. And I just Google searched it, and it says, if Trump don't win, we can have a civil war.
I will look that up. That's what they've been quoting all year with all the Civil War stuff. So, interesting.
Yeah, I just figured that was just kind of a crazy article to get out there. I was just like, man, it's just like So, but I mean, because I'm not a big politician fan, but I feel like
Well, it was the same. It was the same Jesuits and Catholic Church that was behind the American Civil War. They'd be behind it again. So history does repeat itself.
So do you think that could happen, or what do you think?
Well, I don't think it would happen as soon as next week, but they have us on the path. So.
All right. Well, yeah, I just Google searched it. There was an article. It was October 14th, 2020. Will Donald Trump cause a civil war? So.
Well, I will look that up. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, man. Well, I appreciate what you do, man. Have a great night, man. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Okay.
Yeah, you're welcome. Take care.
Call from.
Caller. Hello? You're on. If you're listening through the video, you just got to talk through your phone. The video's on delay.
Huh?
You're on.
Okay.
Hey.
I'm just turn down my TV real quick.
Yeah.
Hey, so I'm kind of young, so I've been studying your work for a couple years now. Since I was in high school, to be honest. A couple points I just want to point out. There's a boxing match coming up with Tank on the 31st of October.
Did you say Pink, the musician?
Oh, Tank, actually the boxer.
Oh, Tank,
Floyd
okay.
Mayweather. Yeah, Floyd Mayweather. I think friend or something like that. He's training. And another thing I seen,
Rick Ross, he bought 87 acres the other day. That was very interesting. And I think Atlanta.
Okay.
Another thing I seen also, I was watching a documentary on YouTube. It was Hell's Kitchen, and it was like the crack era of like, I'm a '90s baby, but it was like the crack era of the 1988 Hell's Kitchen, and it was like showing how things were back in New York, because I'm from New York, and basically I was just amazed, you know. So I seen that they had this thing called Guardian Angel, and it used to be like a organization like police, and basically they was based in New York, and Trump basically is like in 1988. I also researched that was his big breakout year or something like that. So I thought that was very interesting. So I like Google search Guardian Angel, and I seen that the last recent activity they had was March 6th, 5/6, 2016. So I thought that was interesting as well. Sorry, I'm overwhelmed because like I've been trying to contact you for forever, but I'm gonna try to be a consistent caller. I'm gonna let somebody give. Also, women empowerment. I seen Kim Kardashian. She broke down the other day, and she had she was like crying about her robbery in Paris, and I thought that was like interesting. Like, you waited all of this time, and
yeah, that was what, 2 or 3 years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah. So it was like a recent, like last week or something. She did the interview. It was like this big thing, and then also who did an interview as well was Amber Rose bashing Kanye West on their relationship, and also Adam. It's all on Adam 22, and Black China. She walked out on Adam 22 interview. So I just thought those three connections was kind of weird, you know, at that like last week time step. But also Eric Trump making fun of Ice Cube and 50 Cent is a lie. It's a lie. But I'm gonna just try to call in on because I'm gonna give it to somebody else. All right.
All right, I appreciate it. Keep up the good research. Thank you. All right, that's cool. So he's been following since high school. He's doing his own research. He'll just get better with time. But, yeah, the Dodgers season ends with a big 42 ritual, just like the Lakers. And the world needs to know what it's really all about. And a part of me feels like I need to go down to L.A. and hang out by the sports complex and do some pavement pounding because there's a lot to say. Let me check in with the chat while we wait on a call. Let me see. Is anything good going on in the chat? Hopefully everybody's not fighting. I see there's a debate on if Kobe is really dead. And again, I mean, I'd stick to things that you can prove. And that is the rituals and who's behind them and what it's all about. Caller?
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, I'm just calling to see if there's any connection to the Dodgers expanding at all.
Say the Dodgers 6th inning?
Yeah, correct, yeah.
Yeah, so I made it public, the Patreon we had earlier today before the games were played, and I talked about the relationship with 21 and 6 today because Jackie equals 21 in the most pure cipher. And then you add 1 through 6 together, it equals 21. So 21's the 6th triangular number. In the 6th inning of the game, they put up that it was a record 21 combined strikeouts through 6 innings in the World Series. And I was like, there's that 21 and 6. And today the Dodgers became 6 and 6 in World Series in the time they've been in LA. And Lakers equals 66 and LeBron 66. And again, I put out a video on this channel when I first created this channel, which was after 16 channels had been deleted already by Google, the first video I uploaded was why LeBron would win the championship for the Lakers in his 17th season. And then a few videos after that, I said why I think LeBron will end up being 6-6 in the NBA Finals. And there's another 66 that I'm forgetting. Oh, I know what it is. The name Betts equals 66, as in Mookie Betts. So Dodgers now 6-6. And what else is interesting is besides the name Betts, if you just write out the number 50, it also equals 66. And the Dodgers just won the 50th World Series for the National League with Mookie Betts number 50 and avenging their 113th World Series loss against Charlie Morton, who also wears number 50. So that's what I can say about the sixth inning. And they went up 2-1, right, on the Mookie Betts getting to home, beating the play. They went up 2-1 in the sixth, kind of like 21 as well.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Thanks, sir.
Yeah, welcome. And again, that's why you got to know these ciphers forwards and backwards. And for the first 3 years I did this research, I didn't know reverse gematria, but then when I found it, I was like, wow, this is the other half. Because I saw things like that with Jackie. I was like, you got to be kidding me. Jackie's 42 in reverse. But yeah, they did a big tribute to 21 today. Dodgers go up 2-1 in the sixth after the stat about the record 21 strikeouts through 6 innings. And remember, it all started on the 73rd pitch of the game. Los Angeles Dodgers 73, the 21st prime. Snell gets pulled on his 73rd pitch. And I just want to go back and actually look at the box score more carefully. See what else they got in there.
Call from.
Caller?
Hey, what's up, Zach? Yeah, I called earlier today about the black cat and the Mets thing.
Right.
Yeah, what's up, man? Hey, so, 2 years ago to the day today, Kobe announced the starting lineup.
Yep.
Game 4, the World Series. I don't know if anybody called about that.
I talked about it at the beginning of the live stream. Yeah, 2 years ago to the day. So.
Great. All right, cool, man. Thank you.
All right, appreciate it. Thanks.
Okay.
And then they had number 7 on the mound to finish it off for the Dodgers, and the Dodgers got their 7th championship all time. So, what a ritual. 2 runs in the 6th. On Jackie Robinson Day, they lost 2-6. And it's a big number at the George Floyd. Bryant's 26. That's probably part of the ritual as well. Bryant 26, dead on January 26th. Caller?
Hey, Zach. Thanks for taking my call.
Yeah.
Yeah, my brother is a lifelong, I'm here in LA, my brother's a lifelong Dodger fan, and but I kind of turned him on to your stuff, and even with the game tonight, he was chirping out. He's like, dude, he's like, why would they take that picture out? Like he's pretty much coming around, but he's such a fan that it's like, it's so hard to break that, you know? But
Sure.
He sees it because he's good with numbers. He's really kind of like an OCD with numbers and stuff like that, so he sees the patterns and the stuff I showed you about that you showed about Jackie Robinson and stuff like that. I kind of related that to him, and he's waking up. But man, it's really hard to wake people up, isn't it?
Yeah, they don't want to. They want to be American dreamers.
Now you can play through the...
Whoa, commercial snuck up on me, but yeah, again, how are people going to deny that the Dodgers win the first World Series in 32 years and they score 32 total runs in the World Series, and Clayton Kershaw improves to 3-2 in the World Series, and then you can add the Gematria piece, Mookie equals 32, again, America's 32, it's America's pastime, 32 sun rays on the Jesuit logo, and again, they do it against the Rays, so
Yeah.
More people will wake up, yeah.
It's amazing. But I do appreciate your work because I've been able to show it to him, and he's starting to see it, and he can't deny it, you know. And it's like, because he is good with numbers, so it's like he's kind of blown away. But I'll just leave you really quick with one thing. I don't know if you touched on this, but there was a story about a hiker that went missing in Zion National Park.
Okay.
This girl, her name was Holly Courtier. She's from Woodland Hills, California.
Okay.
And the story is really crazy because
her name. There's a lot to her name, but her name comes to it's Holly and then Courtier. This happened on October, just like 2 weeks ago. And I'm going off a Sun article that came out on October 19th. But her name comes to 181, 73, 170, and 71. And there's this sergeant that's listed in the article, and he comes out and he says the statements the family is giving and the statements the park is giving don't add up. And get this, his name is Sergeant Daryl Cashin, Cashin, but his name also comes to 170 and 71. And then I remember Rambo talking about the divine, the sacred feminine ritual, the 17 mirror, and I thought about Zion National Parks, kind of an interesting name. There's a lot. She went missing on the 280th day of the year, like Zion is 28. Yeah, there's 86 days left remaining in the year, which is like blood sacrifice, human sacrifice. I don't know, just pretty interesting, but maybe something you could look into. Zion National Park, Holly Courtier was her name. She's also 38 years old.
38. What do you know?
So, yeah, but I thought that was hilarious. The Sergeant Daryl Cashin. I'm thinking, who's cashing in? Is it the Freemasons? Is it Jesuits? Who is it on this one? You know.
Indeed.
Anyways, thanks for the show. I appreciate it. Have a good night.
Yeah. Take care. See you.
Okay. Bye bye.
You guys see what I'm trying to show up here? 1-3. I'm always calling LA the 13 city. So many 13 rituals with LA. When the Patriots beat LA in the Super Bowl, the score was 13-3, 16 total points in Super Bowl 53. 53, the 16th prime. Patriots 53, Los Angeles 53. An easy Super Bowl to call before the season began. And again, for those who aren't keeping count, my first ever sports prediction from the start of a season was for the 111th World Series. I said in spring training why the New York Mets would be there. They were. The World Series ended on 11/1. Matt Harvey got pulled on his 111th pitch. Next year, we said why the Cubs would win the World Series in spring training. Why they'd win the 112th World Series, breaking the 108-year drought. Major League 108, 108 double stitches. Here, I'll tell you more in a second. Caller?
Hey, Zach. How you doing, man?
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, I've been following your work for quite a bit, but I just want to point out one thing real quick was the Lakers had, I believe, 17 championships.
Correct.
And the Dodgers had 7 championships. And
Right.
24.
17 plus 7, 24, and 17's the 7th prime, yeah. Kobe, 24, yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We've been calling, I knew it was Lakers and Dodgers in 6, so we made a lot of money on that with a couple buddies. Appreciate your work, man.
Yeah.
That's all I want to say.
Good work. Keep it up.
All right, thanks,
All right,
brother.
take care.
You have a good one.
So, 111th World Series, 112th World Series, great work. The year of the 113th World Series, it took me a while to figure out the World Series. But about 2 months before it happened, I said why it would be the Dodgers losing to the Astros, what it had to do with Harvey and the La Tuna fires and a few other things. We had that right on. 114th World Series. In July, we said why the Dodgers would lose to the Red Sox in Game 5, 4-1, 99 days before Super Bowl 53 to conclude the 99th NFL season, where 41-year-old Tom Brady would win with the Patriots over LA. That was the year of the 114th World Series. And then last year, we had Nationals over Astros in Game 7 on September 27th. Caller, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, Zach?
There's a lot of noise coming through your phone.
Can you hear me now?
That's better.
Yeah. Hey, how you doing?
What's up?
So I can't talk very long, but I just got a question about NBA players and what do you think? Because from the numbers and stuff, it looks like pretty much everybody in the NBA is involved. Wouldn't you say?
The sports look very fixed to me. It looks like a lot of people are involved. I don't know if it's every single person, but it looks like a lot are. So.
Yeah. So I was gonna. The number.
Your call broke up. What?
86.
Your call broke up.
There's a guy.
there's a guy in my area who's actually the third pick in a 6 NBA draft.
Okay.
I was trying to convince someone that I work with that, you know, sport rig, all this and that, and then he started talking about he's friends with this guy, and he's just like some random, basically he's just a crackhead now, you know, and he's got multiple arrests, and you know, and I'm just thinking, you know, if he was ever involved in all this rigging, and, you know, and he was the number 3 pick in the NBA draft. There's a singer that Lynn Bias went number 1. I'm just trying to figure out where somebody like him would fit in. I mean, did he get picked number 3 overall and not what? I mean, you know.
Your call's breaking up a lot. I've done a lot of work on Len Bias's death, Major Ritual. But, yeah, call us back again when your cell phone's got better reception. It's tough to hear you tonight. Take care. So, yeah, I've covered the Len Bias death, though, in a number of ways. And I wrote about it in my first book. So, this ritual's been going on a lot longer than that. Caller?
What's up, Zach?
What's up?
So, all right, talking about Jackie Robinson, I decided to look a little bit more into Chadwick and Black Panther. And have you looked into the soundtrack for the Black Panther movie?
Not enough.
Okay, so one of the songs is called King's Dead. And think about it, Chadwick was the king of Wakanda, and he ends up dead in the year. And King's Dead equals 74. And Jackie Robinson, right, joined the Dodgers in 47. And that the album came out February 9th, and that was in 2018. But from February 9th to the date of Chadwick's death, 8/28, is a span of 201 days. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
Oh, from the anniversary of the release date of the album?
Yep, to his death is 201 days.
Well, the other 201 in his death was from Michael B. Jordan's birthday to his death was 201 days, since that's his nemesis in the movie, which was interesting.
Wow.
And
Yeah,
and just as another reminder, Michael Jordan, his birthday is the same day as Huey P. Newton, who founded the Black Panther Party. So I don't think it's an accident that they got Michael B. Jordan to be the nemesis. It's all related.
Amazing. This is the most interesting thing, though. I saw that, and I'm like, oh, Zach's going to love this. I had to call in.
Yeah, that's good research.
Yep. That's
Appreciate
really it.
All
Zach,
right.
if you want to check out my... can I say one? I did a big decode on Jay-Z, the blueprint, on my Instagram. I put like one typo, but I don't know. I got some good feedback, and I think you'd like it. So if you have any free time, you can just check it out. I know you follow me already, so...
Okay,
No,
remind me what your Instagram handle is again?
Gematria.decoded.
Gematria.decoded. All right. Appreciate it.
No problem.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
See ya. And sorry, Indiana, just missed you. Okay. That was the only problem with his Instagram plug. It caused us to miss the last caller. But, yeah, just everything's just such a joke. And then they just got to remind you about coronavirus during the game. And again, the Dodgers picked up their 56th win. The big star on the Rays, number 56. Coronavirus, 56. Number that defined the year. It's just, it's all such a joke. Caller?
Yo, Zach.
What's up?
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, man. I got some info about like the NBA playoff, like something that I found out that everybody kind of missed out on.
Okay.
All right, so it was on August 20th. It was 3 teams won. 3 of them had the score one. They had 111. So you add that up. That's 3. That's 333. Then the next day, it was what was it? It was the Jazz won, which was Paul Millsap. His connection was his jersey number, which was a 24.
Because he got drafted by the Jazz. He wore 24 on the Jazz. And then the Jazz went to 2-4 against the Nuggets on the season on that game. And then, okay, you go to the next game, which was, what was it? It was Celtics against Philly. Al Horford, his number 42, he was on Boston. And then Boston won to go 4-2 on the season against the Sixers. And then the next one, the Clippers, they had Boban. He was on the Mavs. The Clippers won. Boban was 51. Clippers went to 5-1 on the season against the Mavs. All them shits equal up to 6. So there's your 666 ritual. And then I saw the shit. What was it? The Seahawks, when they played, they had a pass. Russell Wilson made a pass to the end zone. They called it back, but they flashed up. The 666 is 6 plays for 66 yards.
You know what's funny? What's funny is I have a screenshot of that. I captured that. I saw the same thing, and then they took it back on a penalty. 6 plays, 66 yards. That's just like how last season they showed a highlight of the Beastquake, and then moments later Russell Wilson got his first rushing touchdown, and they put up the stat of when the last time he had a rushing touchdown was right away, and I measured from that day to the day of the game, and it was 666 days from his last rushing touchdown, right after they showed the Beastquake with Marshawn Lynch over the Saints, and it was during the game when they were playing the Saints last year in Seattle. So, again, it's crazy how they always pay tribute to numbers like 666, but they do it a lot if you're paying attention.
Yeah, man, it's crazy because I bought the new, what is it? What's that shit called? The 2K21, and then I was playing that new, what's that mode called? My player. I was playing that, and then my dude scored, and then it flashed the crowd, and it was it had 3, and then it had 333 again. Then I was like, okay, yeah. And then the next time I scored, and then I went to the fans thing again. Then I had the 666 shit, and I was like, bro, this is too much, bro. It's just they just can't stop, won't stop, bro. Indeed.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's amazing. So
I just thought I'd share that shit, man.
Well, I appreciate it. Yeah, great observations. All right. Take care, man. See. But yeah, I know what he's saying is true. I have the screenshot. Here, I'll prove it to you. I got the screenshot right here. Give me 1 second. It's funny. I was going to do a post on this, but I just got lazy. Let me see it. Caller?
Hey, Zach, I called earlier about the NBA season. I just found more information. I just wanted to run to you really quick. It looks like that LeBron and other heads of the NBA said that December 22nd was too early, which they originally started for, and that's why they were changing it to Martin Luther King Day. It's because LeBron spoke out about the season starting too early on December 22nd.
So, thanks to the King. Now we get it on MLK Day. Got it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all, man.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah. Here, once this thing uploads here, you'll see. So this is exactly what they put on the screen. 6 plays, 66 yards, 333. And then they took it away with a overturn or a penalty. I can't remember what it was, but they wiped this right off. And this was the big ritual with the first black Cardinal in the U.S. and the Cardinals getting pushed to primetime. Caller?
Hi, this is not related to sports at all, but I was kind of kept awake, so I was listening to your live stream. It's kind of irrelevant to, the whole purpose of everything, with the Decode and everything, but basically I found out about your work, and I do the $20 a month for Patreon, found out about your work during the pandemic. I don't do weed. I decided to make edibles because I work at a dispensary, and I don't know, I found your channel in, the comment section and stuff. And I've been watching it ever since. The thing that that really woke me up was, Rambo's piece about the whole, basically with, IHS, with, the Jesus or whatever, with the shit, basically, with Jackass, the Christmas poo, that whole piece he did. And then it was the thing with you mentioning, with Sandy coincidence with and Adam Lanza with the 112 and like everything, and like just knowing that his birthday is April 22nd and Machine Gun Kelly's birthday like is April 22nd. Like that's just like not a coincidence. So I was just curious, like what part over the years is like the one thing that like really tripped you out? Like just because I don't know, that whole thing, like it's just like I realized just how deep, how long everything has been going on, like how many handsets, like how much everything. Like it's just, I don't know, it's just trippy to me.
Well, I mean, when I first started the research, I felt like I was tripped out, I guess, all the time just by what I was finding. Just now I've kind of become numb to it because I've been doing it really for 7 years straight. And, you know, it's just now, but it's still, I guess in a way, it blows my mind. But there's so many amazing things. It's a tough question. I mean, we've covered a lot of stuff over the years. So this year's been pretty. The stuff they've done and gotten away with. I mean, so many, the Chadwick Boseman thing this year, and people don't wake up to that. You know, the Kobe Bryant thing. It's just
like it sucks because it's like you try to talk to people about it. It's like the second I feel like I get all my words together, like I have like everything that like I want to present to somebody, like stick with a certain topic. It's like then something else happens, and then it's just what the hell? Like it just I don't know. It just throws me off. Like, it's hard getting across to people because it's just they don't know, they just say everything's a coincidence. It just gets so frustrating.
Did you see the video I just did on cognitive dissonance the other day on my other channel?
Yes.
Yeah, so I mean, that's what it is.
Yes, I did. And it's like word for word, I don't know, it's just exactly how I feel. And like, I had called before where I had said, like just that, and I was just bitching about just how hard it is to get through with like Trump supporters. And it's just like when I watched that video, it was just, I don't know, it's everything that I already thought, but like, I don't know. It's just, it's weird. But yeah, I mean, that was basically, I just wanted to know like if there was any point that like really messed with your mind at all, but yeah, that's all.
All right, I appreciate it.
All right, have a good night.
Yeah, you too. Take care.
Call from.
Caller? Caller, you gotta mute the video. You're on. You gotta mute the video.
Hello?
Yeah, just talk through the phone and mute the video. You're on.
Hello?
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, I just want to call and say appreciate it for, like, I've been watching your, like, channel for, like, over, like, a couple months now, and I've been seeing how scripted sports are. I've been watching your Gematria numbers, and I've been lining it up. And I kind of had a question for you to, like, kind of discuss on, like, who do you think will go to the Super Bowl this year, like, because I've been kind of, like, looking at the numbers, and I've been kind of looking at with, like, the teams, how you kind of been lining up and stuff, but, like, NFL and rigged numbers, and, like, with the home teams and stuff, and I've been kind of been looking, like, have any of your numbers been lining up to think, like, the teams might be back-to-back, or, like, I don't know.
Well, again, the futures and all that stuff I do on the Patreon now, man. So for all the community that signs up, we talk about that all the day. We're going to get big on the NFL week 8 starting tomorrow. So anybody who's curious about this, man, I'm trying to get people to support the movement and pledge a couple bucks a month so that we can hire some people and take it to the next level. But yeah, if you want that sports futures, you got to sign up. So.
Yeah, because I've been kind of seeing how scripted the NFL is, you know, just watching the highlights, and this is, like, that's actually kind of crazy. Like actually seeing it, like, when you actually see it from, like, not with just, like, your eyes, like, see it from, like, a different perspective. It just all kind of looks scripted. And, like, thanks to Gematria, I could just kind of, like, see it through.
All right. Well, I appreciate you following the work, so thank you.
Yeah, no problem. You have a good night, man.
All right, yeah, you too. Take care.
Call from.
Caller?
Hi, Zach.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, I got a quick 201 for you. Are you familiar with the movie Hackers in 1995?
I remember that title, but I can't remember the movie real well.
They have a really strange shot of, like, the Twin Towers with, like, the lights flickering, like they hacked the towers.
Okay, I remember that, okay.
And also, in the movie, there's Crash Override, and Acid Burn is Jolina, or whatever, Jolie, I don't care about actors. There's a lot of date numerology with their births, like add up with like Masonry and like Jesuits, and like Crash and Burn is their nickname because they're like a couple. Crash and Burn in what is it, English Ordinal or the Extended? I know Extended is the like 696 or 699, kind of like a twist, but like the base force is like the third cipher is 201. I thought that was kind of interesting, and also that the movie started with like the main character, the Crash Override guy, he being from Seattle, like hacking like a certain amount of computers. I think it was like a 47,000 or some like coded number. Also, he went from Seattle to New York City, so I thought that was strange that he went from Seattle to New York City, and this is 19 years later, and there's some like very predictive programming with the Twin Towers, but I don't want to keep you any longer. That's what I.
Well, I appreciate it. I'll have to go back and watch that one. Yeah, great catches. Thank you.
All right, no problem. Have a nice time.
Yeah, take care. All right, you guys, it's about midnight too, and I know if I stay up past midnight, sweet lady's gonna have a problem. We'll leave it there, you guys. If you got here late, you can rewind the video and watch from the beginning. That's where I covered the most important information. Appreciate all the good calls tonight, and I got to take Jeremy before I get off, actually. All right, last call right here. What's up, Jeremy?
Hey, Zach. I had some research that I found for the topic.
Awesome.
You pulled it up on the screen earlier, but you pulled up 42. And did you know that the Greeks isopsephy or whatever for 42 is MB, mu beta?
I didn't know that, no. Huh.
Yeah, like the Greek letter mu is 40, and then the letter beta is 2,
right.
So it's 42 MB, like Mookie Betts.
Huh. That's interesting. Yeah, that's a good catch.
They also showed a stat on the screen that said that he was the 55th player to win a championship in both conferences. Like
AL and NL. Yeah, okay.
I was thinking 55, and now Brady's in the opposite conference.
Right. And they exactly, because they both went from Boston to these teams that now meet in the World Series, yeah? Right.
And I found some interesting things on Mookie Betts' Wikipedia page. It says, like, his real name is Marcus Lynn Betts. Nickname is Mookie. But they gave him that nickname after Mookie Blaylock, the basketball player.
Oh, okay.
And his initial is MLB, like Major League Baseball. And he's also a professional bowler. And down in his personal life, it says he is a cousin of Terry Shumpert, who is a former baseball player who played 14 seasons with several NBA or MLB teams. So I looked at that guy, and Terry Shumpert, you got to see this, the teams that he played for. He played for the Red Sox, Dodgers, and Rays.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you just search Terry Shumpert and like click images, he wore number 50. And he started his career in 1990, played for the Red Sox in 95, and then in 2003, his last season, he played for the Dodgers and Rays. So it just shows how just everything's family and relation. Like, they're all related, and that's how they keep the secrets, because they grew up training them for this.
Sure. Check this out. The first black baseball player for the Red Sox, again, Mookie Betts was traded from the Red Sox, was Pumpsy Green, and his birthday is October 27th, the day the Dodgers just won. Unbelievable.
No way. What's with all these nicknames?
You know what's crazy?
Mookie.
Okay, he made his... listen to this. He made his debut July 21st. That's the day in history the movie Do the Right Thing came out, where Spike Lee wears a Jackie Robinson jersey, and his name's Mookie. Man. This guy made his debut in 59 on July 21st, and his name Pumpsy Green is 59. Come on, man.
I wonder
Well, it says this guy Terry Shumpert has a son who plays for the Braves organization. Like the Dodgers just beat the Braves in the LCS. I wouldn't be surprised if one of those people are in the headlines soon, like Mookie Blaylock or Terry Shumpert, probably like get arrested for something, some kind of shaming.
Sure. The other year they even did something like that with Derek Fisher getting a DUI. Yeah, unbelievable, man. And I say unbelievable, but it is. I mean, it's believable because we see that they do this stuff. It's crazy how they do it, though. It is just crazy how they do it. He made his debut in '59 against the Chicago White Sox, and again, the whole thing with the NWA and the White Sox hats, and that '59 was the same year the Dodgers beat the White Sox in the World Series that this guy, Pumpsy Green, made his debut, and today's his birthday. Amazing.
Yeah. Can you pull that up on the screen? The images of Terry Shumpert?
I got Terry Shumpert up here. Which image do I get?
I just hit like images and it just shows a bunch of his like baseball cards and stuff. But I'm just.
He's 54 right now.
Yeah, age 54. Baseball.
Shumpert, 50 on the Royals, a 15 up here. That just makes me think of Patrick Mahomes. So.
Yeah, started his career in Kansas City.
They had that big ritual with the Kansas City game on the Negro League Remembrance Day this year. Yeah.
Wasn't one of LeBron's teammates Amon Shumpert, that guy with the big flat top?
Yep,
haircut?
he was, yep. Who can forget that haircut? Exactly. It was like Kid and Play. Amazing.
I was thinking about, they just do it from all angles with just like the way the name, just the meaning of the names in addition to the gematria, like bets, like gambling and sports.
Right.
So.
Right. What's Mookie mean?
You're related to all these other people.
Yeah, it's a family affair. That's what we keep saying. People are like, how do they keep the secrets? Because they were born and raised for this, bred into it, family, whole bunch of things. Yeah.
It says Mookie is also a distant cousin of Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. I think that's that Meghan Markle lady.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Royalty.
Yeah. Yeah. Kansas City Royals with Shumpert. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They got it down perfect.
They do, man. Remember, don't forget that year the Royals beat the Mets, it was synced up with Prince Charles. I mean, that was connected to the royal family that year. So.
That probably would have been around the time Prince died, too.
I think the 111th World Series, wasn't that 2014? Hold on. I guess it was 2015, because this is the 116th World Series 5 years later. So Prince died spring 2016. So yeah, he did die after the 111th World Series. Yep. Before the 112th. So, amazing. Amazing.
Yep, that's all I know for now.
All right, appreciate it, Jeremy.
Talk to you later.
All right, see you, man. All right. That's Jeremy, man. When I was out in Louisiana pounding pavement, he drove all the way from the Dallas area out to Baton Rouge, and then he drove down with me to New Orleans. And then we got a laugh to the bank as we watched the rigged Super Bowl come with the outcome we expected. But, it is all a script. And what a joke, you guys. Justin Turner had to leave the game for the deadly coronavirus that he tested positive for. But then they let him come back out and celebrate with the teams. I mean, the teammates. I mean, again, it's just... Is any of this supposed to make sense? And then you gotta love that on the left here you got Kershaw in the commercial. Get some hand kooks. Tires fit for a World Series champion. And yeah, Martin, go ahead and plug your Patreon. You don't have to ask me, Martin. Anytime you want to plug your Patreon, you just go right ahead. Martin does good work, everybody. You ever get sick of me, check out Martin. All right, Truth Seekers, have a good night. And